you can open and close, to the garage door opener, and then it goes from there, and it goes to the sensors on both sides of that door in case somebody walks in there so you don't crush them to death. I started just measuring in my eyes, and I'm like, you know, I bet that wire is about 60 foot long. And I was like, I wonder if I reached up there and unplugged the garage door opener, if it would take all this noise away. And by God, I reached up there, turned it on. Well, I didn't have to get a ladder, but unplugged it. Fucking noise went away.
Holy shit. So it's alive even when it's not in use?
Well, yeah, because the wire is like an antenna, because it was a quarter wavelength of 40 meter band. So all that shit I did with ferrites and toroids, I still had a little bit of something in there. Couldn't figure it out. Unplugged the garage door opener, problem went away. I mean, went the fuck away. I was like, what the hell? So I wrapped that cord through a ferrite toroid. I think I did 8 turns, plugged it back in. Perfect. Garage door openers, man, they are the devil because of those sensor wires.
God, so are those USB chargers, or anything that plugs into a USB, or wall warts. Damn wall warts, man. I mean, they will hum, they'll buzz, they'll do all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's insane. I've had a couple of them, they were older ones, you know, and you unplug them, and all of a sudden, well, you lose a couple S units of noise, and it's like, what the hell's going on here, you know? And then I thought it was the power strip. No, it was that wall wart that was plugged in there.
Yeah, I had my wife's HP computer, and it's new. It's one of those super fast whatever ones that she had to use when we were doing day trading, so we can get into Digimoney or wherever the hell that shit. Yeah. So we had to have a really fast computer. Crypto, that's what it's crypto. So we had a fast computer. That power supply, horrible. Put a ferret on it and clean it right up. What the hell was I talking about? Man, there are so many. Yeah, wall warts. That was all the new Apple stuff in here. No problem with it. That's what I was going to say. My security cameras, the Bluetooth for that, the Wi-Fi for those, one of the biggest culprits. I unplugged it. It dropped everything, but man, I am sitting so low in noise. It's well worth it, man. Go through just one thing at a time. Turn off all the breakers, turn one on, find out what's on there, unplug everything off of it, and sister radio up on battery, and just go one by one plugging things in. That's what I did, and holy shit, man. Palomar Engineering, man, those guys are like, you know, their toroids and ferrites are still pretty cheap, but man, they give you all that information for free. You gotta love those guys. Their antennas suck, but their information is golden.
Oh God, just the stuff you can get off their website's amazing. You know, I mean, yeah. You know, I just realized something. I can check and see if this coax is causing a problem too on this antenna, because there's enough of that LMR, or not LMR, but RG400 to go to that vertical. I could just take that, what's out there now, plug it in, hook it up to my antenna switch, and I'm good to go. And check and see if the noise level drops. Because, I mean, the stuff that I got going up there now, I know it ain't double shielded. It is not.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing with the RG400 is it's quiet. It's really good noise reduction. I mean, yeah, I'll Google it, man. Don't take my word for it, because it's with it. That's why I did it, because they're like, if you got like an S7, you change out your coax and you put this up there, you'll notice a difference. Man, what a difference. I mean, literally. I mean, I still had noise, and it wasn't, everybody thinks RF, it's because you're running power and you don't have a ground, blah. No, RF, EMI is anything like motors, anything coming in. If you got an S5, S7, chances are you got RFI, and it's not coming from your radio, it's what your antenna is receiving.
Yeah. I mean, but we've got the old mindset, bigger is better, so that 213's got to be, it's a bigger cable, and it's got more shielding around it, and it's got this, it's got that, it's bigger, so it's got to be better. So, that's the stigma, We sit there, we look at that RG400, and it's like, look at this skinny crap. I'm not putting that up behind that amplifier. Ain't gonna happen. But it turns out that it can take a lot more than the crap I got up there now.
The stigma is, for me, everybody says, well, I've never had a problem with RF ever. You get a squeal in your audio, you got RF, blah, you don't have a ground, you're not doing this right, blah, blah. No, that has no effect. Transmitting now, that might be a different story. And they said, I've never had a problem with RF. And I'm like, well, what's your ground for? I got a 3, a 4, and I'm like, well, I got a 1. I don't have any RF now, so RF, EMI, that's what's coming into your antenna. If you got a high noise floor, you got RF. That's not RF. RF is when you key up and you get that buzz, hum, blah, blah. I'm like, no. RF is what you're receiving on your antenna. So if you can lower that, hey, everything you can do to get it down, that's what you should do.
Yeah, I mean, we're not talking about common mode here. I mean, common mode is one thing. And looking at it electrically, I think that RG400 is going to be fine with, I don't think it's going to be any worse with common mode. I mean, because this is what I'm thinking about, with a thin cable, this stuff has got to be, oh God, no way. Now, I know I ain't going to burn it up. I know that for a fact. But the thing is, I still got this idea that, that 14 gauge wire that's running down the middle of this LMR has got to be better than that little skinny stuff that's sticking out of the end of that 400. Oh my God, but I don't know. I've seen it hold up as chokes. They use it on chokes, on radio stations. My God. So it's got to work.
Cell phone towers, everything, man. It's good stuff. It's really good. It's rated all the way up into the microwaves. 8,500 watts. I'll take it. Double shielded, low noise. Yeah, just Google it, man. Is our G400 good for noise reduction? Man, I'm telling you, first-hand experience, it's the lower noise. It's flexible, it's skinny, handles power. Now, granted, I've only got a 50-foot run of it, but all my jumpers are made out of it, too. Most of the people on here that we talk to run it as jumpers. I know Dave does. So, yeah, he runs a lot of power. It's good stuff, man. Flexible and good. Love it. It's lovey-dovey.
I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it. I'm just going to take and connect it to the vertical. It won't take but a little while. I'll just crawl up there and hook it up. Now, what I might do, too, there's a jumper that runs from my choke to the bottom of the, or not the bottom, but the SO239 for the vertical. And I may change that, too, because I've got a jumper that'll fit. Matter of fact, it being so flexible, it will work out a whole lot better, because of where it's at. And, you know what? I'll let you know tomorrow how that works out.
Yeah, it works It definitely works. It's flexible, lightweight, less loss than RG8X. Velocity factor, though, is a little bit different. That's just because you got a double shield in RG400. But it's not like dramatic difference in velocity factor. It's like maybe 0.02 or 3 difference. Not a whole lot of difference in velocity factor. But the power handling is greater. The noise reduction is greater. The loss is less. Good stuff, man. You'll love it. I had chokes here, there, everywhere. I took them all off today because I couldn't understand why my stuff was all jacked up. Turned out it was my balance. I probably will put another toroid choke outside. But I still don't have any noise, so it's pretty damn good. You'll notice a noise difference with it. I mean, it may not be much because you're going to run it to a vertical, but man, when you get that horizontal up, when you put that on there, you're going to be like, what the hell happened? Do I have a coax plugged in?
Yeah, I'd like that. I would really like that. This area that I'm in, I'm right here by these power lines. I mean, dude, seriously, if you were to, Google my address, or go ahead and map it, you'll see what I'm talking about. If you can get the overlay of the power lines where they run, oh my God. I'm less than 100 yards away from the big power lines that are running over here off of 150th. And then there's another set that run on the opposite side of me, that run over the other way. And they both meet at some substation over there, and then they go somewhere else. And it's like, holy crap. And then every time it rains, I wind up at Sizzle, and I expect that. I'm going to get that. Now, we've got a lot of industry around here, too, and I've got the airport less than half a mile away. It's a quarter mile. That's literally. The county jail is less than a quarter mile away. And it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I know when I had my vertical, 40, I had probably an S7, 80 random was horrible. I mean, 9, 160, I could hardly hear anything on 3185. It was, I was resident there, but I couldn't hear anything. So you'd have to be really strong. Anything above 40, though, 20, 17, 15, 10, man, it was quiet. And it got out really good, especially on 10. Oh, my God. But I have a different antenna for those bands anyway. But on 40 horizontal with a good shielded coax and some toroids, wow. Nothing, no noise. It just, I'm blown. Even my cobweb. I used to praise my cobweb that it had such a low noise floor. Signal noise ratio was phenomenal, right? And then I changed over to NFED. NFED's no, I hate those things. But dipole, monoband dipole with good coax. Ooh, wow. Quiet.
Yeah, I still got to build that. I've just been dreading the fact. I mean, I've got the coil already wrapped. Not the cores. I've got the cores wrapped with that tape, that thick stuff, and it's ready to go. I even got the wire stretched out. I already straightened it real good, and it's hanging off of one of my shelves over here, and it's staring at me, going, "Your fingers are gonna hurt so bad." I just know it. So I've been dreading it, and I think what I might do tomorrow morning, I might sit there with my coffee and wind that damn coil outside, and because I don't want to drag it through the carpet and hit anything, because, I mean, I'm going to have 4 feet of wire, 2 strands of 4 feet of wire, twice. God bless.
Yeah, say that they just run it, you know, direct feed, and then on the coax, you know, like that feed point you made me, you run something like that, and just put like 4 or 5 mixed 31s right at the feed point, right underneath it where the coax plugs into it. They'll give you the 1-to-1, they say. I think it's 4, depending on the size of the coax. For RG8X, I think it's 4. For RG400, I think it's 3, or maybe it's 5 and 4. The thicker the coax, the more you have to put, something like that. I don't remember. I gotta go back and study, man. You know, the longer we've been in this, the more headache it becomes, because we know more, and you overthink too many things.
It's what we do. No, what I'm doing is I'm going to wind up, it's not going to be like a guanella ballon. It's actually going to be a, oh God, here, I'll be winding 10 wraps on one side, and then the 2 will come up. You know, one will be red, one will be black. I'll mark them, and I'll check them with an ohm meter, and then I'll do it on the opposite side, going in the opposite direction. And then I'll have 2 sticking up, one red, one black. I'll join the black ones, I'll join the red ones. And all it's doing is it's making a double pass on the coil. And it not only helps correct the, you know, the balance to unbalanced, you know, because I'm going to have a balanced antenna and an unbalanced line. It's also going to give me, it's a killer choke. Because, I mean, I'm using 3 cords. Good God, that's overkill. I only need 2, but I don't want it to overheat. I don't want to ever have to look up there and see this black mark in my box and go, oh shit, what did I do? You know? And so I'm overdoing it. Even doing 14 gauge on it is overdoing it. Everybody says, no man, you only need 16 on there, you'll be fine. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. You know, we'll overdo it, and I won't have to worry about it, and that's it. You know, so that's what I'm going to do with this thing. So it's going to have a balance / choke. Now it works fine at the base of my my vertical, and if I'm going to have any RF in the shack from that, it's going to be from that. Any antenna, it's going to be from that, because it's like, God, dude, it's right there. I mean, literally, I could probably take a 102-inch whip and smack it if I didn't have a wall in the way.
Yeah, I gotcha. The best way to find out what you need is put it up. Use a direct feed type feed point, like like the one I said. What I do is I'll put the wires on that. There's no wraps, no cores, nothing inside. It's direct fed, and then I'll put a VNA on it, and I'll see what the impedance is. If let's say the impedance is 12. But the SWR is, right where it needs to be, and I know the length of the antennas, right, because I measure and cut it, right? But if I'm at a 12, then I know I need a 4-to-1 or a 1-to-4 or whatever, well, it'd be a 1-to-4 to bring it back up to a 50. And if it's, that's when you know how many wraps you need to make. That's what I do. So I don't try to foresee it because I don't like to do the math. Math sucks. I'll run the VNA on it, and it'll tell me what the impedance is, and then I'll play with the legs a little bit of the dipoles or whatever, and move them, and see if I can't get that to move up, and see what the SWR is going to be, because I don't want to go like an inverted, not a regular. You could see usually that is a real high impedance. Horizontal is usually about 70-ish.